Hey everyone, today I am going to show you the easiest strawberry rhubarb pie. I'm going to do lattice work on it and it's going to be delicious, perfect for spring and summer. So what we have here, we're going to go ahead and start off with our crust because we need to let that cool. So we're going to do 3 cups of all-purpose flour. Make sure you level it out. 3 cups right in here. And make sure that you level out so you get the exact measurement. And then we have 3 tablespoons of sugar. We're going to go and put in here. 3 tablespoons of sugar. We're going to do some salt. About a 1/4 teaspoon. Just going to stir this up. And then just make sure that our butter is nice and cold. I like to cube it up beforehand and then pop it in the refrigerator so it's nice and cold because we want that for a nice flaky crust. So I have 2 sticks plus 3 tablespoons of cold unsalted butter. So we're going to put this in here and then by hand just going to mix it all together. Make sure it's all nice and blended. Now, if you have a food processor, this obviously is going to go a lot faster, but I like to get down and dirty with my food, so I'm going to keep doing this until just kind of rub it through your fingers just to kind of smush that butter and flour and everything together. All right, so this is all nice and mixed together. You can see it's like a coarse cornmeal almost. You want to do it nice just like that. So then to that, we're going to add 6 tablespoons of cold ice water. I'm going to make sure it's nice and cold. Some people will even put ice cubes in it, I've seen, but I'm not going to that extent. Alright, so then just kind of mix it all together with your fingers or your food processor, whatever you have. It's going to start to form together just like this. Alright, it's looking good. So let's go ahead and mix it all together. Make sure you get all those extra crumbs in there. Let's go ahead and turn this out. So now we're going to divide this in 2 because we want 1 dish to be for the crust and we want 1 to be for the lattice on the top. So we're just going to form this together. So let's just, you want to make sure that one's a little bit bigger. Just a little bit. Perfect. So then, you don't need to knead it or anything yet. We just want it to kind of come together because afterwards we're going to take a rolling pin to it. So, all right, so we're going to cover with some cling wrap. We're going to put it in the refrigerator and let it sit for about an hour. All right, so it's been about an hour and a half since it's been in there. So what I did, I just want to cut about 14 inches or so of parchment paper. I'm going to put our dough right here. And then we're going to put a little bit of flour on it. And then we're going to put our other piece of parchment on there. And we're going to roll it out. Makes for easy transferring. Right. Start just like this. Okay, that looks beautiful. Just going to give it one more little round. I'm going to make it about 1/8 of an inch thick, so. Flip it over, just like this. Beautiful! Yay! Great. Peel off the parchment. And there we go. Okay. Once that's in there, you want to make sure it goes all the way down into the creases so it fits it. Alright, you want to make sure it fits all the way in there, just like this. All the way to the side. If you have any spaces like this, it's okay. You can just kind of crimp it together just to fill in all those extra spaces. Make sure it goes all over. This looks delicious. And now, with a knife, just kind of go around the edges and just cut off the extra. And then we're going to be able to fold it into either dough, so we can use that for the lattice if we have any extra. And then we're going to put this back in the refrigerator to let it get nice and chilled again before we start doing the pie filling. All right, so now this is all done. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator. All right, so now we're going to do the lattice. I'm going to go ahead and load it once again. Some flour on the top. A rolling pin. Here. Just start rolling away. Now once we're done with this, we're going to put it on a sheet tray and just pop it in the refrigerator as well. So now we're going to cut our rhubarb up, and we need about 2 cups of it, so I'm just going to cut off the ends here. I'm going to cut them in about 1/2-inch pieces. It's going to be about 2 large stalks. I'm going to go ahead and add it to our pan, and then we're going to go ahead and take the tops off of the strawberries and cut them in half, and we need about 4 cups of that. Alright, so we have our strawberries in here. We're going to add about 1 cup of sugar to it. And again, it's a very simple recipe. Just a little bit more. We're going to add 1/3 cup of some all-purpose flour. And just a pinch of salt. And that's basically the filling. It's really simple. Mix it all together. Here, I'm going to thicken it with that flour. Make sure all the strawberries and everything is incorporated. Perfect. I'm going to set this aside. And now I'm going to get my pie dough out, because it's been chilling in there. Here's this. Okay. All we're going to do, add this right to our pie dough. It's okay, it's going to be a little bit higher. Sorry. There we go, just like that. Make sure it's all in. Alright, so we're going to set that to the side. And now we're going to cut for our lattice work. Now what I'm going to do is get a sharp knife. I'm going to do about 1-inch strips here. That's what we want. So, probably going to take this one off. So we cut these into strips. Now what I'm going to do is lay the shorter ones right here just like that on either side. Beautiful. And then the long ones right down the middle. So let's go about 4 this way. Just like that. Perfect. All right, so now to make the lattice, I'm going to put 2 up, do a shorter one. Careful, it might be sticking to the parchment just a little bit. So just like that. I'm going to fold it back over. And then I'm going to bring these 2 the opposite down. Just like that. Fold these back over. And this one down. Another piece right there. Almost done. I think we need 1 more just to make it complete. I'm going to make sure they're kind of equally spaced out. And then 1 more. So this right here. All right, perfect. So now, with our knife, I cut off the extra on the sides, just like that. have some extra pieces here. I'm gonna make it around the edges, and we're gonna kind of crimp it up. So all these extra pieces are gonna kind of form together. Put it on the edge here. Just kind of crimp it tight. So that's all done. I'm just gonna brush it with some egg wash. I just wanna take one egg, just scrambled it up. I'm just gonna wash this on there, and then I'm also gonna hit it with some sugar on the top. We're gonna put it in our oven. It's been preheating at 375. It's gonna cook about 80 to 90 minutes. It's gonna take a while. And if you see that the crust is starting to get darker, the outside of the crust than the lattice, then we're gonna put some tint of some aluminum foil on it. So let's finish brushing this. Looks delicious. Makes such a difference when you put in that extra effort too to make homemade lattice pie. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So now, if you have the big sugar, that's good, but I just have regular sugar. Just gonna put it all over here. Now I have to put on here because this might boil over and you don't want to make a mess in your oven. All right, into the oven it goes. All right, so this has been in here about an hour and 10, 15 minutes. And it's ready to come out. Now, during the middle, I had to put some foil on the top because the crust was getting a little too brown. Look at that. Is that not absolute? Oh, aren't you glad that we put it on a pan? Because that's what could have been all over the bottom of your oven. So here we go. You want to make sure you let it cool for about 30 minutes. And then you are ready to eat a delicious strawberry rhubarb pie. Hope you like it.